Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. Have you ever noticed that liberal partisans can be some of the most infuriating and very frightening people to deal with? Here in Canada, there is unfortunately this cult of personality that has emerged around Trudeau, feeling that he's, really good and he can't do any wrong. And some people have dubbed this group TrueAnon as a, parody of QAnon, this cult-like devoted following, because already, right, lots of these people, these, TrueAnoners, as we'll call them from now on, these people have loved that the Washington Post came out with this opinion piece saying why Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, should resign. And Doug Ford should resign. He has been an absolute disaster for this province, as I and many other people predicted he would be. But these very same people are also the same people who condemned Jake Tapper when he accurately also pointed out the failings of Trudeau's government over the course of this pandemic. Also, I am hearing not a peep from these people about supposed climate guy who cares about climate justice and took a knee at the climate strike protests. This very same prime minister of ours that these people love to fawn over in the cult of personality, this same man had his government form a secretive committee with the oil and gas lobby of Canada. And if you don't believe me, check out my video on the subject. I'll put it, in annotations and also in the link down below, because it's pretty frightening, and it's especially disturbing that not enough people are talking about that. It's also really weird seeing people put in weird, like these liberal partisans put in weird race and superiority things. Like there's this tweet by this Greg Brady guy saying, no matter what you think of Trudeau, and I have issues, several, I see a grown-up, a rational human, a compassionate man, an educated man, strong DNA. What's with that last one? That's some real creepy eugenicist crap right there. And he's not the only one who said that. There have been others that you can see on Twitter and probably on Facebook. You can see people with these weird takes talking about how, well, have you been to the countryside? Those people shouldn't be trusted or listened to. And it's like, they're people too with very real concerns who pay their taxes like you do and want security for themselves and their families like you do. I've said in another related video that the urban and rural working class have more in common than we ever will with the political elites who rule over us. Additionally, to bring it back to these, TrueAnoners, it is really disturbing to see people try and claim that, these leaders and these parties can't do any wrong and they won't criticize them. And I know that, all parties are guilty of this. I've seen conservatives say, oh no, our party is great, everyone else is bad. Oh, well, we'll make justifications or exemptions for this. I get that it's bad, but even lots of people, my fellow comrades who support the NDP, have rightfully called them out and MPs out for egregious behavior or for some of the gong show that was the recent convention. They are still able to criticize the party that they openly and relatively, seriously support. I don't see the same from conservative voters and supporters and liberal voters and supporters, which is why TrueAnon exists now as a delightfully hilarious and yet entirely accurate term. Because these liberal partisans who will, on the one hand, say, oh, Doug Ford absolutely must resign, he has been terrible, will also not vocalize any real dissenting opinion against Trudeau's Liberals because, oh, well, if that happens, then, the Conservatives might get in, and that's not a good thing. And this brings us back to why First Past the Post is a broken system, which brings us back to one of the many promises broken by Trudeau that Liberals continue to excuse and provide justification for. It's so exhausting having to deal with this from the two main political parties in Canada. It's exhausting and it's frustrating, and it's definitely what's bothering me today.